there? Well, we finally got our dot cams in, and I wanted to show you a little bit how to use them and what's going to happen, how to use them in class, and best practices. Okay, so these dot cams are a little bit different than the Elmos. It's a new technology, much less expensive, and a little bit easier to use, and you can record video, and it's pretty high quality. You can also take scans of documents and save them, so they do a lot of cool stuff. Now, first thing I'm going to point out to you is opening it up. If you notice, there is this part that lifts like this, okay, so it's like telescopic, and you fold it open, or unfold it open. If yours does not have the light on, at the end, the very, very tip of the end here, I don't know if I can show you on the webcam here, on the very end is your light control, so you can turn it on and off. There's a little tiny switch here. Just gonna get my nail in there. There we go, okay, off, on. And the other thing that's very, very small that you might not notice is if you want to do a manual zoom without using your computer, this zoom here, you can slide over the lock, unlock it, and then this turns to focus as well. Okay, so that might be something you want to do. All right, so if you are done using this, you have it on your table like that. Notice that click. I don't know if you heard that click. When you're done using this, you can close it down like this. So I just like flopped it shut. Or if you want to adjust it, it says here press to release. Really like follow directions, right? So press your finger in there and then it'll collapse back down, and then it shrinks back down a smaller size. So maybe during breaks or something you want to save it. Oh, I left my light on. So I'm going to open this back up, turn the light off, close it, press this down, and it retracts back. Okay, so it really doesn't take up very much space. All right, connections. With the Elmo, it's pretty intricate what you can do. Like you have to switch back and forth and swap around. This is a little bit easier. This is a simple USB. So you plug into your USB, and on the tablets, I suggest on the left side, that's a powered USB. So you want to plug in there. It also works if you pop it into your docking station, if you want to just always leave it there. So it's ready to go in your classroom. All right, and the end looks like a printer cable. Pop that in there. All right. Overnight last night, maybe while you guys were sleeping and doing trick-or-treating, enjoying all that fun stuff, there should have been a software update that went out to you. And if you do not have this software, it's okay. It is HoverCam Flex. What you have to do is put your tablet wired on your docking station, restart it, and it should pick up for you. All right, so on your programs, if you notice you have this like Egyptian-looking eye thing, it's the HoverCam Flex. This is the software that's used to control the dot cam. Okay, so when you do open your software, you have a couple of options. You're going to primarily be in video. And video is what you're doing when you're presenting and it's going, okay? There are some other options here that I think are pretty cool. Scan, so you can take really good pictures of some documents and save them as PDFs. So if you had a worksheet that you were working on, you could take a picture with your HoverCam and save it to PDF. Thought that was really neat. All right, so the other thing you can do is record videos. So just like I'm doing right now, if I had two of these, what I'd be doing is recording myself doing this. I could also, open this and record my head under there and whatever, do crazy stuff. But what you're seeing right now on the screen is what the video is. So I'm going to open up the camera right now, because it's not only has it looked for the camera, it's like, hello, turn it on. So I'm going to open this up, and if you notice, voila, you get to see my desk. Okay, so I've got my lovely mouse pad here, and my Michigan mouse pad, and I've got some random items so you guys can see what it looks like for zoomage. The high-res picture, it's actually really good. I think it's a great picture. So what you'd want to be doing in the classroom is, let's say you were working on something here, maybe you were doing a manipulative. This would be projecting. So you would have your tablet on, you'd be projecting, showing what's on your screen, and the kids would be seeing this. And what's convenient about using this type of dot cam, I've noticed, is let's say you're switching back and forth between doing something here, maybe you're doing some neat activity, but you want to go to a website. Well, since you are still on the computer, all you need to do is open a browser, and there you go. We can go back and forth. You just have to make sure that when you want to show the HoverCam, click on the HoverCam icon. If you want to do a Word document, you click on the Word document and have everything open at the same time. Okay, so you don't have to switch back and forth. There's no delay. It goes pretty quickly. Other things you'll notice is zooming in and zooming out. So I am just sliding this zoom in, zoom out thing over. So that would help you if you wanted to zoom in on something maybe intricate, maybe some small font. And I'm going to zoom in a lot here. Okay, and what I'm also going to do is play around with that focus I was saying. The actual lens, the camera lens, fingers, that is also a focus. Okay, so I'm getting really fuzzy right now. So I can go back and turn that. And I can also turn on the light, and that should brighten up stuff. And this works when you're doing something on paper. You get a nice light. It will adjust and auto adjust to see how it's changing colors. It will auto adjust if you're working on something. And I'm going to zoom out now because it's kind of big. Okay. All right, so just basics of how to do this. If you wanted to pause the recording, let's say you were doing something and you wanted the students to look at something, you know, here's this, here's what they're working on. You can pause it. You can also use freeze on your projector. So if you want to do something like this, you can pause and then, you know, keep doing something else, but the kids are, so I'm moving here, my hand's moving under the webcam, but you can't see anything under the dot cam. So it's frozen on that. So that's good if you're working. What you might want to notice, and just what happened here, I'm going to hit play again. What's happening here is the glare of the light. And this happens if you use a whiteboard, something glossy underneath, you might want to consider not using the light so that you don't get the crazy glare, okay? There's also a record button here. So let's say you're considering flipping the classroom or you're recording an activity. Maybe you do it first hour and you wanted to show other classes, but you don't want to redo the same thing every single time. Well, what you can do is get whatever document you want to work on. Let's say I want the kids to look at this curriculum guide. What you can do is start recording. So you can record, create a region, just like I'm doing a screen capture of this, right? I'm doing like a screen capture within a screen capture. You can do that, and then you can record whatever it is you're going to do and play it back for the kids or upload it to YouTube and, you know, make it accessible on Moodle. You can use this to record. Okay, so kind of neat, really cool features for the HoverCam. I think it's a great thing for teachers in the classroom. Doesn't take up as much room, a little bit easier to use. And here's the best part. Let me hide this now because I'm not going to record anymore. Cancel. All right, so the best part that I forgot to tell you about, or the part I wanted you to know, is these are hot swappable. Sorry, you're probably tired of looking at my mouse pad here. I'll put the directions here for you. All right, these are hot swappable. So if you don't have one, or let's say you don't have one in your room all the time, you can borrow them from each other. Because we all have the software, we don't have to install everything on individual tablets. If someone has one and someone else wants to borrow it, hey, sure, go ahead, plug it in, pop it in, use it, return it, close it. Really easy, much easier than dealing with the Elmos. Those have to be unwired and rewired and moved around. So these are pretty good to use. All right, something else you need to consider, position. So some of you that have your tablets over away in your desk, because that's where you sit and work, but you teach someplace else, if you plan on using the HoverCam or plan on using a dot cam, you need to kind of reconfigure your setup so that your HoverCam is near your tablet. Okay, they require each other now. So make sure that you're considering that when you want to start using them. Try to keep them close to each other. The cords may be 3 feet long, so you don't have a lot of cord space, and I don't have extensions for these things. So if you need to move it someplace else, figure out what works best for you. I think I used to have a podium, a flat surface, and I used to keep my tablet there and my cam and work there, and then take the tablet off the docking station when I wanted to go work someplace else. Okay, so keep that in mind, space, organization, what works best for you. But I hope this really helps. There are some other cool features. I'll hopefully get to making another video sometime soon so I can show you some of this stuff. But to get started and to get going, you've got it. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to help you out. Thanks, guys. If you do not have a dot cam right now, let's say you weren't on the list to get one of these. I'm just going to stop sharing here. If you were